Alright, I'm back again for another collection video, this time Criterion Blu-rays. Now, Criterion is probably the most famous and well-known of these companies that release high-quality Blu-rays for classic movies and art house movies and some pretty out-there stuff. They've been around for years. They have but over 1,000 releases at this point. And I'm guessing I have maybe like 150, maybe here. I haven't counted these, but well, around 100 maybe. So yeah, my Criterion collection isn't the largest. I'll probably be able to get through this in one video. Again, like usual, starting off with the movies that I've watched with a little bit of commentary on each one of them. These are pretty much alphabetized, I guess. And then I have the Asian stuff separately stacked here. But yeah, these are movies that are not Asian. Starting off with 3:10 to Yuma by Delmer Daves. This is the original movie, not the remake with Russell Crowe in it. One of my favorite, if not my favorite, Western of all time. Very concise, only 92 minutes. It's a perfect length for a movie. Just a quick hour and a half, and then get out of the door. That's it. Does the job. Such a great story. Such great characters. The story is very simple. There's a bandit who has been captured, and this guy has to deliver him to the train station and try not to get killed by his bandit friends. That's it. That's the movie. It is such a thrilling movie to watch. The main villain is such a charismatic villain. Very interesting one. Very different from, like, this is from 1957. Very different from other villains in Westerns of that time. Often villains in Westerns were there just to be killed off at the end and be evil. But this villain is very charismatic. He's almost as likable as the other guy, the good guy. So, a very interesting movie. Definitely worth a watch for anyone, not just people who are interested in Westerns, just anyone. Right. And, well, here you go. Another 10 out of 10 movie for me. 12 Angry Men. Again, this is the original, not the remake. Has Henry Fonda in it. A lot of great actors. Other actors as well. A courtroom. Well, it's not really a courtroom drama. It's a courtroom, behind closed doors drama with like people in a, what is it called? Like in a jury. 12 people are in a jury. They're trying to decide if a person is guilty or not. 11 think that he's guilty. 1 thinks that he's innocent. And the one person starts convincing the other people why he's right and they are wrong. Such a classic movie. Incredible stuff. By Sidney Lumet. Great director. The overall quality of Criterion movies is just, well, as you can see, it's quite high. Another 10 out of 10 movie for me. Being There by Hal Ashby. A very bizarre political comedy, I guess. Peter Sellers plays a guy who is, he was born without much mental capabilities, let's just put it that way, if that is tactful enough. Tactful, is that a word? I guess it is. I hope it is. I think it is. But yeah, Peter Sellers is incredible in this movie. And it's all about this one character. It's a character study of him and the whole society around him. Very interesting stuff. Right. Then we have Wes Anderson. This is his first movie, Bottle Rocket. Not the greatest movie out there, but I think it's worth a watch if you're into Wes Anderson. It's very different from his later works. It's a much more straightforward drama rather than the overblown comedies that he would be later more known for. Then we have a couple of horror movies. These are both sealed because I've seen these, so these are just for collection purposes. Carnival of Souls by Herc Harvey. Classic 1940s, not 1940s, 1960s. The second one is 1940s. 1960s horror. A young woman wandering through a dreamscape. Excellent stuff. And then we have a 1940s horror movie, Cat People, another all-time great by Jacques Tourneur. A horror movie about a woman who can turn into a panther or some kind of a large cat. And it's amazing. It's amazing. Only 73 minutes long, extremely effective horror movie. Has one of the greatest jump scares of all time, and it's a 1940s movie. So, right. Then this is probably my least favorite of all the stuff that I have here. This is Desert Hearts by Zatoichi. I don't know why this is in a Criterion collection. Probably because it's a 1980s feminist, like lesbian movie. Has some sexual minorities in it. Right, so there we go. It's a road movie about these two women. I thought it was boring as hell. Right, then we have a movie that definitely isn't boring. This is Le Samurai by Jean-Pierre Melville. A classic thriller crime movie about this assassin played by Alain Delon. Great actor. Fantastic stuff. Next up, we have Nicholas Ray and In a Lonely Place. One of the best Bogart movies, Humphrey Bogart. Like, this is the type of stuff that I like him the most in, where he's playing alcoholics and these like men who are completely miserable and depressed and just don't know what they're doing with their lives. Like, this is my favorite type of Bogart. And yeah, one of my favorite movies of all time as well. It's all about this main character and a woman that he's in love with and their very interesting relationship. Next up, we have Robert Bresson and Mouchette. Oh yeah, by the way, these all have these. Some of these don't have a full-on booklet, but there's always some writing, right? Some of these have larger booklets, but yeah, I'll try to go through these quite quickly because I would like to get all of this done in one video this time, so there won't be a part 2. So yeah, Robert Bresson, great director. He made these short, very concise movies, like no filler, and just incredible stuff. Mouchette is by far my favorite of his. I think, is there? Yeah, I think there should be one more. Oh no, they are right. The problem with Criterion in the UK and Europe is that they don't bring most of their releases to the like B region, European region. So many of the movies that these guys have released in America are or have been released by other companies in the UK. So Mouchette, I have a Criterion for. I think I have Pickpockets by BFI, I guess. And yeah, A Man Escaped is by Artificial Eye. So these guys' filmography is like spread all over the place. Different companies have released different movies. So in the US, I think Criterion has pretty much all of them, or should have most of them released. But yeah, also about this movie, it's very sad and depressing and miserable, like most Robert Bresson movies are. This like he is the film equivalent of the realism literary movement. Just miserable stuff. All the people are either suffering or evil. Right. Then we have a classic horror movie, Night of the Living Dead. Again, this is the original, not the remake. However, in this case, by the cat people, also the original, not the 80s remake. This time, the remake is also good. For the other ones, I don't know. I haven't seen most of them, but yeah. So, Night of the Living Dead comes in this digipack. George Romero's classic zombie movie. Has some very nice looking art. And also whoa, there's a poster. Oh yeah, it's this image. Yeah, it's this face. Yeah, and then there is writing on the other side. Too small print to show really properly, but well, there it is. Night of the Living Dead, one of the all-time great horror movies. Definitely one of the top horror movies of the 1960s, which is a very tough decade to crack the top in, because 1960s, like, what an insane decade for horror movies. The 80s as well, right? Next up, we have Overlord by Stuart Cooper. This is a Second World War movie that mixes like real war footage with like this fictional stuff. Quite interesting. I wasn't blown away by it, but it's definitely worth watching. Another Wes Anderson movie, Rushmore. This is his second movie, I think, and the first like proper Wes Anderson movie. This looks and feels very much like his later movies. So if you haven't seen Rushmore and you like stuff like Grand Budapest Hotel, and just go watch Rushmore. It's really good. Then we have another horror movie, The Blob. Again, the original, not the remake. The original is much better again than the remake, the 80s one. So this is from 1958, has Steve McQueen in it. It has an alien blob that starts to eat people. It's great. Then we have some more Wes Anderson. I don't have all of his Criterion releases. I'm missing Darjeeling Limited and Fantastic Mr. Fox, but I think I have all the other ones. So here we go, Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. And this is an unpopular opinion, but I think this is his best movie. Like, this is by far my favorite Wes Anderson movie. It's his most subtly, how do you pronounce that word? It's a very subtle, that's how you pronounce it, subtle. It's a very subtle, funny comedy movie, and it's also his most depressing and sad movie at the same time, which is a combination that sounds odd, and it is odd, but it works well. And yeah, it's a spoof of the documentary filmmaker who made all these documentaries about the oceans and stuff. What's the name? Like, what's the name of the guy? Like Kuso or something like that. It's a real guy, right? But here he's called Zissou, right? So it's about a marine biologist. They go underwater in a really weird submarine. I love that sequence. There's like slow motion animated fish swimming all over the place, and Sigur Rós playing in the background. It's incredible. And there's also a ridiculous like shootout scene with pirates. It's great. Another great Wes Anderson movie, The Royal Tenenbaums, which is like a quintessential family movie. Probably one of the worst fathers in film history. Played by who is it played by? The guy with the mustache. Why doesn't it say? Oh, there, yeah, Gene Hackman, the great actor, especially from the 70s. Gene Hackman, Royal Tenenbaums, great stuff. Then we have a more modern movie. Well, those are from the 2000s as well. This was from 98, right? Oh, it's 2001. All right. This is from 2005. Noah Baumbach and The Squid and the Whale. Was this one of the movies that Wes Anderson co-wrote or not. I can't remember. Noah Baumbach and Wes Anderson are friends, and they sometimes write each other's movies and are otherwise involved in the making of them. So he probably had something to do with this, because this has a Wes Anderson feel to it at times. A very funny and at times depressing family drama comedy. Definitely worth watching. Jeff Daniels is incredible here. Also has a young Jesse Eisenberg before he became really famous. Whether you like Jesse Eisenberg or not, that's not important, but you know. A lot of people don't like him. I think he's really good in some movies. I think he was incredible in Social Network. And he was also really good in, what's the Dostoevsky movie? Was it The Idiot? No. Well, he was in a Dostoevsky movie directed by the British guy Ayoade, Richard Ayoade. What is the movie called? Is it The Idiot? I can't remember. Anyway, Jesse Eisenberg was good in that one as well. Right, another horror movie. Lewis Allen's The Uninvited, an early haunted house movie from 1944. Wasn't a huge fan of this. Back then it probably was quite effective. Now it just seems quite. It has so much melodrama in it. I don't really like this early Hollywood melodrama stuff. The horror stuff is pretty fun in that movie, but yeah. And lastly, for this stack, we have They Live by Night by Nicholas Ray, the director of In a Lonely Place. This is a crime movie, noir. It's pretty good. I wasn't blown away by it, but it was pretty good. It's from 1948. This is one of the movies in this stack that I should probably rewatch first, because I would probably like it better on a second viewing. I have a feeling about that. Right. Then I have a bunch of Asian movies here that I've watched. Let's start off with the non-Japanese ones. Oh, no. Let's go with the African-American ones first. Yeah, I have here 3 movies by African-American directors. That would probably be a good idea to do next. So we have here Shaft by Gordon Parks, an action movie from the 1970s. Again, the original, not the remake with Samuel L. Jackson. And what a great, great action movie. One of my favorites from the 1970s. Is it Richard Roundtree? Yeah, it's Richard Roundtree. Such an iconic African-American actor. Great music, just great action sequences, especially the choreographing and the direction in the action scenes is fantastic in that movie. Right. Next up, we have, this is one of my favorites from this stack. This whole stack. Menace to Society. Yeah. I don't know why I took it out of the slip before putting it on screen. Excuse me for that. So it looks like this. They are in a prison. Menace to Society. This is basically Goodfellas, but in the hood. Very violent and nihilistic at times. And some of the actors, I think, are amateurs. This guy especially, I think this guy is not a professional actor. I think there are multiple actors here who aren't professionals. And what an incredible movie. Just the type of movie that just flies by. You turn it on, you sit down to watch it, and 97 minutes gone. Incredible. This also has Samuel L. Jackson in it, in a small cameo type role. He's this guy's father, I think. And those scenes are so powerful and so incredibly creepy. Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything about this movie. It's definitely worth watching and checking out for yourself. And then lastly, we have Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing, another movie that I really like, or remember liking. I've seen this probably 15 years ago at this point, maybe even 20 years ago. Yeah, takes place in this famous pizzeria and the neighborhood around it. Just one of the quintessential 90s. Is this from the early 90s? No, it's 89, so late 80s African American movies. Great discards, such great design overall for these releases. And this one does have a thick booklet. Lots of writing, interviews, stuff like that. Director's journal. Very interesting. Yeah. Do the Right Thing. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, watch it. There's a problem with this video because pretty much all of the movies here are something that I think you should watch. So watch everything that you can see on screen. Do yourself a favor and watch all of these movies. They are great. Right, next up, let's do the non-Japanese ones. So we have this. I have this in the Asian pile because it's basically like a Chinese immigrant movie. So there's Sean Baker, who directed this, Takeout. And it's like it's filmed in a documentary style. It takes place in a Chinese restaurant. And most of the actors in the movie are people who work at the restaurant. The main woman in this movie is the person who owns the restaurant this was shot at. And she's not a professional actor, but she may be one of the best actors I've seen in a long time. She's just insanely good in this movie. The movie itself, I don't think the storyline or anything is that special. There's this guy, he came to the US, he loaned money from the wrong people, and now he needs money to pay them back. And he works as a takeout driver, basically, on a bicycle. And this is a movie which basically, like, it's if you want to know what it's like to live as a food delivery, takeout delivery guy, watch this movie, because this is a movie about following that sort of work. Right. And then we have two incredible Taiwanese movies here. We have Edward Yang's Brighter Summer Day, which is roughly 4 hours long, if I remember. Yeah, around 4 hours long. It feels like an hour and 50 movie. It's so good. Follows these sort of young teenage boys living in Taiwan. And then we have Edward Yang's second masterpiece. This is from 91. And this is from 2000. Yi, an absolute masterpiece. One of the greatest, if not the greatest, family drama I've seen. Again, 3 hours long, but it's definitely worth it. Like these are two movies. Like, I have both of them sealed because I've seen them before I bought them for the collection. But I would gladly rewatch either one of them, although they are so long. Right. Then I have a couple of A-region Blu-ray. So all of this so far has been B-region, and everything after these three will be B-region. But I have a couple of Akira Kurosawa movies here. These have been released in the UK and in Europe by BFI. And I also have a Nordic Blu-ray box that has these movies. And actually, it has all of the 6 black and white samurai movies in it. So I don't really need these in a collection, but I got them in a lot a long time ago, and I've kept them on a shelf because why not? So first up we have Rashomon. I prefer the short story maybe over this movie. I've always thought that this was probably the weakest of Akira Kurosawa's samurai movies, but it's still a masterpiece, so can't really criticize it too much. Then we have Seven Samurai in this magnificent digipack. In my opinion, a top 5 of all time caliber movie. Insanely good. And also comes with a book. Just look at this imagery. It's just insane how good it is, how beautiful all of it is. This is from 1954, if I remember correctly. Yeah, definitely one of those movies that everyone should see during their lifetime. Watch it once and then wonder what went wrong when you look at modern Netflix output and the stuff that Amazon and all these other companies with the streaming services have. What went wrong? Where is this stuff? It's nowhere, and it will never reappear. At least as long as this current economy and marketplace for movies is going on. So yeah, 1984. Again, another long one, 207 minutes. But it's worth it. And then I have this double pack for Yojimbo and Sanjuro. Another two great movies, especially Yojimbo, for inspiring so many great westerns after it. Right. And then I have a bunch of Japanese movies here from other directors that I've watched. Maybe I don't want these to get squished, so I'll put them here for a time being. Right. Next up, we have Hiroshi Teshigahara's Antonio Gaudi. It's a documentary about architecture, 72 minutes. Not really that interesting, but there you go. If you want to watch walls, ceilings, and floors for 70 minutes, there you go. That's probably your new favorite movie. Then we have Paul Schrader's, this is an American movie, but it's the life of Yukio Mishima, the writer. Mishima, A Life in 4 Chapters. Easily the best biopic I've seen. That's an awful glare. I can't show this much more on screen because you can't even read the text, really. But yeah, one of the greatest biopictures of all time, if not the greatest. Has an incredible soundtrack by Philip Glass as well. Yeah, these are not alphabetized. Well, I guess we'll just have to manage. Then we have Kihachi Okamoto's The Sword of Doom. I'm not a huge fan of this movie. It was supposed to be a series, but they never made the other parts, as far as I know, so the movie just ends abruptly. It's a very different style of samurai movie, because the main guy is an absolute maniac. He just goes around killing people, just innocent people. And, well, he'll cut anyone down with a sword, basically. Not a very likable main character. Yeah. If you want to watch a samurai movie that's very dark and negative, then that's the one for you. This one is much more up my alley. Hideo Gosha's Three Outlaw Samurai has probably the most interesting trio of characters in a samurai movie. All of the ones are incredible. The main guy is played by Tetsuro Tamba, who is great. And then you have the other ones. This is your prototypical. We have here three people who are completely different from one another, but they band together, and friendship is the key to everything. There you go. Three Outlaw Samurai. Well, they don't really do things because of friendship, but I just thought it sounded funny, so I said it. Right. Then I have these two digipacks by Kenji Mizoguchi. Sancho the Bailiff, still sealed. Incredible movie. This is the one with the brick people, right? The people who Oh, this is a slave driver movie. So is this the brick one? I can't remember. It's such a long time I've seen these. Again, probably 15 years at this point, or 10 years at least. Oh yeah, this is the ghost story. I should open both of these and rewatch them. I'm pretty sure this is the one about the people who make bricks for a living, and then they are like kidnapped, or at least some of them are taken as slaves. And then this one is a kind of a horror movie. Not really, but kind of. It's a ghost story, kind of. But yeah, the essential Japanese movies. Mizoguchi is incredible as well. Right. Then we have Masahiro Shinoda's Pale Flower, kind of a Yakuza movie. The first one, actually, of this stack. But not really. It's about a guy who gets out of prison, and there's this woman who's a gambler, and they kind of have this odd relationship, I guess. So kind of a crime thriller, but it's more of a drama movie with some thriller elements, really. Right. These ones I just watched the other day. The Samurai Trilogy has 3 movies: Musashi Miyamoto, Duel at Ichi-Joji Temple, and Duel at Gunryu Island. 3 movies about the life of the famous swordsman Miyamoto, or Musashi, probably best known as, played by Toshiro Mifune, who used to be in many Akira Kurosawa movies. I thought all of these were pretty good. Not my favorite stuff. The problem is that it's 3 movies, and the main, like, there's this love triangle kind of thing going on, and it lasts for the whole duration of the 3 movies, and it just keeps repeating the same points over and over again. I thought that was quite strange. The duels are great, and the action is great. It's just that there isn't really that much of it, especially in the 3rd movie. It's much more about just the life of Miyamoto Musashi. The 2nd one I thought was probably the best. The 3rd one has the best action scenes, but yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Right. Then we have Tampopo by Yuzo Itami, a kind of a Western comedy movie about a person running a noodle shop. It's very funny. It's a straight up comedy movie. Definitely worth watching. One of my favorites from the 1980s. There aren't really that many great Japanese movies from the 1980s, and Tampopo is definitely up there with the best of them. And then we have another Yakuza crime movie, Tokyo Drifter by Seijun Suzuki. An extremely stylish crime movie. Extremely stylish and fun. Only 82 minutes, so something you can rewatch time and time again. All right, then we have next stuff that I haven't watched. Oh yeah, let's do the box set next. This one I have watched. This is the Hong Kong set for World of Wong Kar-wai. I don't have many of Criterion's big Blu-ray box sets, but I do have this. I bought it immediately when it came out. Wong Kar-wai is such an incredible director. And yeah, it comes in this very strange looking box. Let's see if I can get it open. Well, let's try not to knock over the camera. I'll put that back. Like that. So yeah, it's in here. Can we get it out? Yes. I'm not a huge fan of this design. It has this large book, which kind of like, it has this, it's art, and then some of the pages you can open, like they are open from the top, and there are art prints inside. It's very strange. So there are like these pockets in the book here. It's quite odd. So yeah, all of the different movies have their own art here, and also their own pockets with the art cards. So there's one more. So that's the art book, and then all of the movies are in this massive foldable thing. So you have As Tears Go By, Days of Being Wild, Chunking Express, Fallen Angels, Happy Together, In the Mood for Love, and 2046. In the Mood for Love, Chunking Express, and Fallen Angels are absolutely some of my favorite movies of all time. Again, I keep repeating this over and over again, but you know, well, it's true. It is true. Can I get this back together? Yes, I can. Even without knocking over the camera. Right, so there we go. That's the World of Wong Kar-wai. Let's put this here. And let's put this here, like so. And then 3 Asian movies that I haven't watched. Only 3. Is that correct? I only have 3 Asian Criterion movies that I haven't watched. I guess that is correct. So first up we have And Who Is Boat People, which is a Hong Kong drama movie. I don't know anything about this director other than that she has also directed Visible Secret, which was released by Radiance Films on Blu-ray. So another movie that I haven't watched yet. So I have 2 films by her to watch at some point. Then we have Kenji Mizoguchi's Life of Oharu. Definitely something that I should check out at some point. And then we have another comedy movie by Juzo Itami, the guy behind Tampopo. The Funeral, again, should be fun. Right, and then let's get the other box set out of the way. So this is the Zatoichi box set. Incredible art. So Zatoichi, the Blind Swordsman. This also came with on the outer plastics. Where is it? There. It had these stickers on it. I've kept them. I don't know why they would put these stickers on the plastics, because this is the type of stuff that I definitely, at least myself, would prefer to keep. And these stickers make it very difficult, so I have just, I cut them out of the plastic with scissors just to have them. It comes with this hardcover book that has writing and some art. There are so many movies, like there are over 20 movies in this box set. All of them have their own little art. That was a nice looking one. Let's go back. Yeah. All of these are probably by different people. Yeah, that's by Angie Wang. That's by Yomar Soriano. Yeah, these are by different people. Looks very nice. So there's a book. And then all of the movies. I prefer this a lot over the design of the World of Wong Kar-wai one. It's just a book that you can open like this, and then every disc has its own little pocket. The problem with these pockets is that the discs over time can get scratched. However, these are Blu-ray discs, and Blu-ray discs don't really get even if they are a bit scratched, it doesn't really affect how they play, or at least it shouldn't affect. Let's see if this is scratched. Yeah, there's a bunch, like the problem with this pocket is that there's just a bunch of these like tiny little scratches that developed over time on these discs. A lot of people have complained about this. It's the same with the Godzilla box set that I don't have, and some of the other ones, I guess, as well. So let's put that there. How the hell am I supposed to display all this? Oh, there's so much space on the other side. Let's put this here on the other side. That's fine. Right, then I have one more stack here. First up, we have this weird one. This is a Roma, and it's in a blue case because for some reason Criterion, they tried to just do this kind of like a Nordic release. So it does have a booklet, but it's just a like in the Nordic countries. So Finland isn't technically a Nordic country, but who cares? Like that's how we usually get bunched up with the other people. So Finland, Norway, Denmark, and Sweden. We often have like Blu-ray releases that have subtitles for all of the 4 different languages. And this is one of such cases. So this is a Criterion Blu-ray that is just a retail Nordic release that has Finnish subtitles. I think this should have Finnish subtitles. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So this is like a Netflix Criterion collaboration. I don't know why they did this, but they did it for this one movie. I don't think there's any other ones like that. If there are, correct me, because I'm definitely interested in getting it. Right, then we have a bunch of movies here that I haven't watched. Some of these are alphabetized, all of them aren't. First up, Diabolique, a horror movie by Clouzot, or Clausot, I don't know how to pronounce it, from 1950s. Seems like something that I would definitely enjoy. Then we have Fists in the Pocket by Marco Bellocchio. I recently watched one of his other movies. What was it? Was it Slap the Monster on Page 1? Was that his movie? I guess so. If not, my bad, but yeah. I've watched so many Italian movies recently because Radiance has released so many of them that I'm starting to kind of mix up the directors and who directed what. Then we have Michelangelo Antonioni's L'Avventura, a well-liked classic. We have another movie by Clouzot, La Vérité. I probably butcher all of the pronunciations, but that doesn't care. It's close enough. That doesn't matter, and I don't care. It's close enough. That was what I was supposed to say or was trying to say. Then a movie by Theodore Witcher. I don't know anything about this director. Love Jones. I got this for a very cheap price, so I got that one. Then we have Midnight Cowboy with Dustin Hoffman and Jon Voight in it. A classic 60s movie. We have Mildred Pierce by Michael Curtiz, who directed Casablanca. Should be a good one. This is from 1945, so right around the same time as Casablanca. Then I got Howard Hawks' Only Angels Have Wings. I'm not sure if I've seen any Howard Hawks movie yet, or if I have, maybe just one or two. I guess I must have seen something by him, but I can't remember. I haven't seen the original The Thing, which he directed. There's a bunch of his movies that I should watch that I haven't seen. Then there is Panique by Julien Duvivier. Some kind of a... is this a courtroom drama? Or am I confusing it with something different? Well, it doesn't really say, so some kind of a movie. I don't know. I haven't seen these, so I should watch them at some point. Then we have Badlands by Terrence Malick, another crime movie from the 1970s. We have Charade, which is a comedy, I think. Yeah, a comedic thriller from the 60s. This is one of the earlier releases. This is number 57. Most of the stuff that I have is at least 600 or higher. Well, I guess the Samurai trilogy is pretty old as well. It's 14, 15, and 16. Yeah, very few from the original 100 here in this stack. The Blob is as well. Rushmore, Carnival of Souls. Is that it? Tokyo Story. There are a couple. Okay. So then we have Failsafe by Sidney Lumet. Again, great director. Directed 12 Angry Men. This is some kind of a nuclear war scare movie, if I'm not mistaken. Then we have Metropolitan by Whit Stillman. By Whit Stillman, I don't think I've seen anything by. Got this, just in case I would like it. And then we have the final stretch, starting off with Roman Polanski's Repulsion, one of the iconic 1960s horror movies or crime movies. Definitely going to watch that quite soon. Then I have Abbas Kiarostami's Taste of Cherry, which is a Iranian movie. I don't think I've ever seen an Iranian movie that I didn't like. Jafar Panahi's Taxi is fantastic. Jafar Panahi's This Is Not a Movie is fantastic. Everything I've seen... Who is the director? The guy who directed Separation and The Salesman and those movies. What is his name? Asghar Farhadi. By him, I've seen 3 movies by him. They've all been great. So I have high hopes for this one as well. Taste of Cherry. Then we have a classic, The Last Picture Show from the early 1970s. We have Martin Scorsese's The Age of Innocence with Daniel Day-Lewis. He's always incredible. And then 2 more. Next up, The Lure, which is probably one of the weirdest additions to the Criterion collection, by Agnieszka Smozinska. Yeah, okay. This is a 2015 horror musical with, I guess, mermaids in it. I don't know. Seems interesting. And then lastly, I have The Irishman by Martin Scorsese, which is 209 minutes long. So don't know when I'll have the time to watch that, but at some point, maybe I will. So there you go. That's the Criterion stuff that I have in my collection. Everything by Criterion that I own. Whew. Maybe I'll take this Zatoichi box and I'll crush The Funeral under it, and then I'll shift these a little bit. And that will probably look better. Like so, there you go. So in just under 50 minutes, that's a great length. Maybe I'll move the Zatoichi one here, or maybe I'll do it like this. Like that. Now everything should fit on screen. Yeah, there you go. So that's the Criterion collection Blu-rays that I own currently. Hope you enjoyed another collection video, and I'll be back next week again with something different. Bye bye.